From LALATE News Headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Mornings LALATE.
It's a big morning of Mornings LALATE here on Memorial Day, Monday, with big exciting news about your fourth stimulus check update of 2021 today. In this recording, we're going to go over the breaking news that came in from Mayor Pete, but the breaking news that happened on Friday from Chuck Schumer. The vote is heading to the finish line. We're going to go over the fourth stimulus check, how much you're going to get, the massive monthly stimulus checks, and the routing times. And later in this video, the voting details. Then in the second half of this video, we go over the exciting details about this stimulus that'll raise your benefits up, including my veterans. The biggest benefit lift you've seen in a generation and why it'll be a lifetime. Then in the middle of this recording, we can go over the big money that viewers continue to get every single day. Rent, utilities, and more, thousands of dollars, and I'll go over how you can get it as well. It's a big, bold, beautiful Monday morning on Memorial Day. I'm here, you're here, the toast is toasting, the butter is buttering, the barbecue is barbecuing, and this is a special Memorial Day of Mornings LALATE. Great details about your fourth stimulus check update of 2021 on this Monday Memorial Day. How are you? How's the weather where you are? And tell me where you're tuning in from. If you're watching me live, jump into the live chat and tell me where you're watching and how the weather is, or drop in the comments. It's gloomy. gloomy here in Los Angeles. It's June gloom, even though it's not June yet. So as you can tell, it's quite dark. It is cool, and let's hope it stays that way. Happy Memorial Day. Hope you're wonderful. A big salute to my veterans and to their families and my armed services members. More about that salute later in this video. But first, this is going to be a big recording about your fourth stimulus check update of 2021. In this recording, we go over the breaking news from Mayor Pete this morning, the breaking news from the president, the details from Chuck Schumer that hit on Friday, and the big money you're going to get under this fourth stimulus package. Then the second half of this video, we're going to go over the money that will be lifted up across the board, including for my veterans, and why this money will not just be for a generation, but a lifetime. Wow. And then in the middle part of this recording, we're going to be going over all the big money you can get. The viewers have continued to get that money, and I'll go over the details about how you can get that money as well. This is LALATE, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Financial breaking news across the board, the only channel of its kind. Live in the morning and taped in the afternoon. Now expanding with additional overnight shows as well. Our overnight crypto show is a massive hit again last night, and you're loving those overnight throwback videos. So instead of 2, we're now going to 4. More overnight throwback videos, which you've enjoyed. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers. A YouTube record in 1 year. Next stop, 1 million. Hit that subscribe button. Like this video. And consider becoming a member. The link's at the top of the chat and the pinned comment. Let's get right to that fourth stimulus package and that fourth stimulus check. There's a House bill by Jalapal and a Senate proposal. Let's compare and contrast them right now. The House bill from Jalapal provides a monthly stimulus check for the remainder of the pandemic plus 1 year. Let's compare that versus the Senate. Now, Jalapal's bill provides that monthly stimulus check for a monthly basis for the pandemic plus 1 year. But if you're in the live chat just after about 9 o'clock a.m., get ready to vote House or Senate. Not just yet. Let's compare and contrast how those plans differ this morning. So the Jalapal bill provides a monthly stimulus check for the remainder of the pandemic plus 1 year. The Senate proposal, on the other hand, provides a stimulus check from July to December. Now, before you vote, let's look at that monthly basis. The House bill provides $2,000 the first month, $1,000 thereafter. The Senate bill, on the other hand, provides an amount unknown. But word on the street is it's this. Wow. Incredible. $2,000 a month over 6 months, $12,000. Or $1,400 a month over 6 months, $8,400. That's per person. Now, before you vote, let's look back to the dynamics of Jalapal's bill and why macroeconomics may modify it. Jalopal's bill provides pandemic plus 1 year, but insiders believe that the legislature may contend that for legislative purposes, the pandemic is over. That would mean that Jalopal's bill would provide 1 year of stimulus checks, not pandemic plus 1 year. 1 year of Jalopal's stimulus checks would amount to 12 months of stimulus checks, obviously, and that's $13,000 over 12 months. Let's compare that to the Senate over half the amount of time. Wow. So if you're in the live chat, vote House or Senate. Which one do you like, House or Senate? And tell me where you're tuning in from, and tell me which one, how the weather is as well where you are. House or Senate, and tell me how the weather is this Memorial Day weekend. All right, let's go over all the other details you need to know about that fourth stimulus check. First, who gets it? My veterans do, and so do you. If you make less than $75,000 or less, you get the fourth stimulus check. Married couple, $150,000 or less, you get it. You get that fourth stimulus check, just double it. If you are on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, rural benefits, or veterans benefits, you get the fourth stimulus check. And household 4 or less, you get it. Just quadruple it. It is not taken out for taxes because it's not income. The fourth stimulus check would not come out in waves because it's a monthly stimulus check. And the fourth stimulus check would not have different amounts. There's one amount for everyone, for you, for my veterans, for adult dependents, for minor dependents, and for everyone else. Finally, I'm a reporter. I just report the news. They're the legislator. They make the representations. And they represent the vote is by July 4th. More about the vote coming up in a second. But that means that the first check is in the month of July for the month of July. In the month of August for the month of August. And away we go. That is the start of your fourth stimulus check updated 2021 in this recording. I got more details coming up in a second with those breaking reports from Leader Schumer and Mayor Pete. But first, here's a preview of the second half of this video. Fifth stimulus heats up this fall, where everyone's benefits, including my veterans' benefits, would be lifted up one time. And then a new benchmark will be applied. That would be the highest of a generation, but could change your benefits a lifetime. I have all those details coming up in the second half of this video. But now let's turn to the big money. And folks, you have been killing it. Wow, we don't go less than an hour with someone send me a private message, jump in the live chat, post a comment on the channel saying they got rent, utilities, mortgage, SNAP. You are just doing wonderful. So if you haven't got to that money, get ready to get in this video. And if you have gotten, I'm about to get you some more. Get a pen and paper ready. I got a lot of money to get you. Stay to the very end of this video. It's starting right now. $350 billion for you. Well, I mean, not $350 billion just for you. It's to share. You got to share. So it's coming from the federal government under third stimulus. And it landed last week. It's coming more next week. What is this for? It's for rent, for utilities, for homeowners' mortgage and homeowners' utilities. Where do you get it? 6 locations. And we're going to start with rent, about $5,000 a person. Wow, 4 to 6 months of rent. You're going to reach out to 6 locations. Hope you got that pen and paper ready. Here we go. City Hall, City Housing Authority. County Hall, County Housing Authority. State Hall, State Housing Authority. The key words you're going to use is rent assistance because of COVID or mortgage assistance because of COVID. You do not use the word stimulus. You can say Biden Economic Recovery Act. And guess what? Each location has different eligibility. So if one says no, another one will say yes. There you go. $5,000 for rent just to start. Now let's turn over to SNAP. Now, before we do, I want to congratulate Tim. He got some rent. I want to congratulate Linda. She got rent and utilities. They sent me a very nice comment. And I want to congratulate Lynn, Lynn, her mom, and her son all got SNAP or SNAP increases. Wow, killing it. Let's go over SNAP. First, what is it? How much is it, and how do you get it? It has been one of the big success stories of this channel. It's a fortune. A family in Hawaii can now get upwards of $16,000 a year for SNAP. What is SNAP? It is money for food. It is money for food. You get it from Department of Agriculture. Reach out to DOA or contact 201 and get connected over to Department of Agriculture. And why is it so much money? Because of 2 wonderful executive orders, one from Trump and one from Biden that raised everyone's benefits up from now to December by 15%. We're doing great. We're 10 minutes in this video. We got $16,000 for SNAP, $5,000 for rent, and we're just getting started. Well, I got $5,000 one viewer got for this next item. Let's get to it right now. It is money back from your state. I'm going to go over how much it is, how you get it, and when you get it. Okay, first, what is this? The federal government has identified states as overpaying unemployment benefits to you due to computer error and then telling you to return the money. And you did. Well, guess what? The federal government has ordered the state to return the money back to you. Yes, one viewer is getting $5,000 for it. So what is this? States had overpaid unemployment benefits to no fault of your own due to a state computer error. And then you return the money back. Well, the federal government has ordered that money back to you. So when are you going to get it? Every state has different routing times. Reach out to your respective state. Finally, how are you going to get it? On the bank account you have on file with your Department of Unemployment. All right, the next pot of money is wonderful. It comes back from the IRS. But before I go over the detail, I want to show you a personal message. One viewer 2 nights ago reached out to me in Overnight Crypto, our new hit 15-hour overnight live show. It's a show about crypto. It's not a show about unemployment. But that viewer wanted to find me so that he could share this information so that I could share it with you. He wanted to tell you personally that he got his check last Friday. And he wanted to share that information with you to help you so that you know your checks are coming. Isn't that wonderful? That's the spirit of the Purple Power. Viewers helping viewers, me helping you. So now let's go to that wonderful money that he tried to help you with. It is money back from IRS on your unemployment taxes. One viewer, in addition to him, got $2,000. What is this? How do you get it? When do you get it? And how to track it? All right, let's go over the great details. First, what is this? This is the taxes you paid on your 2020 unemployment benefits that's coming back to you from IRS. Let's go over an example. You had $9,000 of unemployment benefits. You paid $5,000 in total taxes in your 2020 return to IRS, and $4,000 was your taxes on unemployment benefits. Congratulations, you're getting back $4,000. Next, how are you getting that money? That money is coming to you in the mailbox, in an envelope that is beige or white. So you need to be surgical with that mail over the next few weeks and go through that mail very carefully because that envelope is super thin. Beige or white envelope with a beige check in there from IRS. Next, when are you going to get the check? You'll likely get in the first or second week of June. Remember, IRS represented that all the checks would be sent out in May. Not that you would receive the checks in May, that they would be sent out in May. The first checks went to single individuals, no dependents, then single individuals with complex returns, and finally, joint filers. Finally, how to track the check. 70% of the time it works. Go to irs.gov, sign in, set up a username and password, put your social security number in, and then do a transcript search. It will reveal the tax return you filed, the taxes you filed on that tax return, and the routing of that check back to you from IRS. And there is that exciting news, and it actually gets better. And it gets better right now with that breaking news from Chuck and Mayor Pete about your fourth stimulus. Let's go back to that fourth stimulus check update of 2021 with the breaking news. It started on Friday. On Friday, Leader Schumer confirmed not one, not two, but 3 of my breaking news reports over the last week and made the announcement exactly at the date and time I told you he was going to make the announcement. I had told you that the Friday before Memorial Day weekend, he was going to announce, 1, that for legislative purposes, the reconciliation process has begun. He announced that. Number 2, that for legislative purposes, the negotiations are now off. He confirmed that as well. And that for legislative purposes, the vote will be finished by July 4th. And he confirmed that as well. Wow. So now let's go over the 8 breaking news stories that led up to Schumer's statement on Friday and Mayor Pete's statement today. And let's start with Jalopal. Jalopal wrote that House bill for those multiple stimulus checks. And when Jalopal wrote that House bill, over 100 House Democrats wrote the president a letter saying, we're going to put multiple stimulus checks from Jalopal's bill into the fourth stimulus package. So what did Jalopal do about a week ago? Jalopal wrote Leader Schumer and Speaker Pelosi a letter saying, call the vote. Call the vote. So why did Jalopal write that letter? Because the process had not yet really formulated and there's still bipartisan negotiations. Now, the letter got even better because approximately 12 House Democrats co-signed the letter, and they're among the 100 that had written the president a letter saying, we're going to do multiple stimulus checks in the fourth stimulus package. Wow. That is wonderful. And Jalopal's letter worked because they've now started the reconciliation, about to start the vote in. All right, can it get better than that? It can. And it got really good news last Friday, a week ago last Friday, when 7 House Democrats wrote the president a letter. And those 7 House Democrats in that letter said, we are going to put multiple stimulus checks in the fourth stimulus package. And we're going to work with you to put it in there. Now, work with you is a euphemism because the president doesn't write legislation. He's the executive branch. These people do. But who are they? Who are they to say they're going to put the 4 stimulus checks in the 4th stimulus package? Well, those 7 people who wrote that letter to the president are on the House subcommittee that solely and exclusively is responsible for putting stimulus checks in the 1st stimulus package, the 2nd stimulus package, the 3rd stimulus package, and now the 4th stimulus package. Wow, that is insane. Can we get better news than that? We can. When last Friday, the President of the United States told his legislators that I will give it to the Friday before Memorial Day weekend. And at that point, you're going to start calling the vote. We're going to end bipartisan negotiations. And that's exactly what Leader Schumer confirmed on this Friday. Then the great news continued on Tuesday, this last Tuesday, when the President of the United States did something wonderful. It's a little complicated, so let me explain to you how it is. I'll slow it down. That's how we do it on this channel. All right, so what did he do? On Tuesday, he reached out to the global leaders around the globe, and he said, you know what? I want to raise the global minimum corporate tax rate. In speaking to those G7 countries, they tentatively agreed to a higher global minimum corporate tax rate of 15%. Why is this interesting? Why is this good news? Let me explain. The president of the 4th stimulus package is raising the U.S. global tax rate from 21% to a higher tax rate. Well, he told insiders later that day, this is where it gets really good, that after 4th stimulus is passed, he's going to go back to those G7 countries who have tentatively agreed to a higher global corporate tax rate of 15% and lower the U.S. corporate tax rate back down. Wow. So multiple stimulus checks and reducing the global and the U.S. corporate tax rate even lower again. This is really good news. And it actually continues with more good news. Let me go over that detail starting right now. That happened on Wednesday when the president got the counterproposal from the Republicans and said, no deal. Call the vote, Chuck and Nancy. And then on Thursday, the really surprising news. You've been asking, where are those Senate Democrats? We haven't heard from them. Well, you heard from them on Thursday when they said, call the vote. We're done. Call the vote. There's no reason to wait around any longer. And then came Friday, when Leader Schumer made the announcement. The reconciliation process is underway. We will be voting shortly. We will be done with voting by July 4th. And away we go. Today, Mayor Peake spoke about the matter as well, and he said, at some point, you have to stop negotiations, and that point is really upon us right now. So there you go. In this great, incredible news, the second half of this recording, we'll be going over how the voting process works for the 4th stimulus check and the big exciting news about this stimulus that'll raise your benefits up, including my veterans, plus a special message from me to the troops and a special surprise message for you as well. But first, I got more big, great news, and it is rent, utilities, and homeowners assistance. I want you to get it. And if you haven't gotten it, or if you tried to get it and had problems, don't worry. Reach out to the volunteers. They're viewers just like you. They're salt of the earth, and they've stepped forward to help you find that money. Reach out to them on the community page. The community page is in the description to this video. Open the description, and then in the description, you will see an emoji of a house. Next to it is the link to the community page, news.lalate.com/community. Reach out to the volunteers. They're on that community page. Has a picture of some kitty cats. And then lower on the page are the volunteers. They're on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and they can help you get that money. And here is a little bit about the volunteers. I'll be back at 60 seconds with all that exciting details and surprise announcements. Stay with me. See you in about 60 seconds. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.lalate.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now on Mornings LALATE. The toast is toast and the coffee is brewing, the bacon is bacon. And the barbecue is barbecuing. It's Memorial Day weekend and Memorial Day. Thank you for joining me on a special live broadcast of Mornings LALATE. How are you? How's the weather where you are? Drop in the comments and tell me where you're watching. In this recording, the second half of this recording, we have big details still unfolding about 4 stimulus. You'll hear them later in this video. And then exciting, life-changing amounts of money under 5th stimulus for changing your benefits. Wow, that's coming up. But first, subscribe. This is LA, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Broadcasting live across the board. Hit that subscribe button right now. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record in 1 year. Next stop, 1 million. Like this video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Membership link is on the top of the chat and the pinned comment. More about membership in just a second. But let's cut to 5th stimulus. 5th stimulus is wonderful, and it heats up this September. It'll raise your benefits across the board and increase your benefits lifetime. Let me explain what's at issue. First, they'll raise your benefits. Then they'll remove the asset limits. They'll add an inflationary benchmark, and then remove the income exclusion, remove the marriage penalty. All right, let's go over how this works and also the breaking news and the calculation behind all this. First, what are they going to do? They're first going to raise up everyone's benefits one big time. And yes, this is for my veterans. And yes, it's for everyone else. You, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, and survivor benefits, multiple beneficiaries as well. Then they'll apply a new benchmark. That benchmark is inflation. Now, we know what inflation is, but what's a benchmark? A benchmark is the number they use every December to determine whether next year's benefits will go up or stay the same. Remember, they never step down. Now, we're trying to determine how this benchmark will be in December. What will be the inflation rate in December when they write that letter? Well, Jeremy Siegel about 2 weeks ago said maybe it's 20%. That might be on the high end. Head of the Federal Reserve out of Georgia said the growth rate is going from about 4% now to about 10.5%. That may signal about 7% inflation. And then we've had a lot of analysts over the last week say it may be about 3 to 7% inflation. All right, let's choose a number. Let's say 6% inflation. This is how it would work. First, they would raise up your benefits one time under the 5th stimulus. Then, in December, they would apply the inflationary benchmark. Let's say it's 6%. That would step up your benefits the next year by 6%, but not just 1 year. Lifetime. Because the way benefits works is that once they step you up, you never step down. So if the year after that the inflation rate is 0%, you don't go down. You're still at plus 6%. And if the year after that the inflation rate is 2%, then you go up another 2%. It is wonderful. The inflation rate is expected to be the highest of a generation when they apply it this December, and that would step up your benefits not just a generation, but a lifetime. The other items under 5th stimulus are they would remove the asset limit. Thank goodness, just in time to get those stimulus checks. So the asset limit is dating back to a 1980s law. It's going to go away, which says you can't have more than $3,000 on bank account. It's going to go away. Then they're going to remove the income cap. Dating back to a 1960s law, it's going to go away. That says you can't work and stay on benefits. Finally, you can work if you want to work. And then they're going to remove the marriage penalty. It's horrible. I even saw people chatting about the marriage penalty during the live chat of this video. It penalizes people from who are married, and it prevents people from getting married for fear of losing benefits. Now, love will win. You'll be able to marry your lifetime love interest, not suffer marriage penalty, and for people who are married will no longer be penalized. That's fifth stimulus. That heats up as a two-bill, two-step, two-month process in September. The step up would likely, they represent, happen around maybe October, November statements. And then, of course, the letter in December with the step up next year, the benchmark in January. But here's what you need to know is that while the president calls fifth stimulus the American Family Plan, there's a lot of money in there for people who aren't families, for single people who are single. Single individuals, single workers, single seniors. There's a lot of money for people in there who are single. And in a 30-minute video, I don't have enough time to go over everything that's in the fifth stimulus package. And that's the value of the membership of this channel. The membership link's at the top of the channel in the pinned comment. We're currently 25 minutes into a 30-minute video, and there's not enough time to go over what else is in the fifth stimulus, like hazard pay, like money for single individuals, like money for single seniors. That's the value of membership. Every day I send out to members of this channel a delineation of what's in the fifth stimulus, in the fourth stimulus, and the third stimulus, the PDFs, and all the breakdowns. Also, there's not enough time in the video to go over everything that's in the fourth stimulus or everything you're entitled to on the third stimulus. Now, if you can't become a member, at least subscribe. Why? Because the month of July is going to be a very crowded month. Here's an example. In the month of July, they're calling a vote on a budget bill. Is it this budget bill? No, it's another one. Yeah, a little confusing. In the month of July, they can call a vote on a Jollapal bill because there's a couple of them. Is it this one? No, it could be another one. What? Yes. See how things are complicated because there's a lot of similar things happening at the same time. And in the month of July, the four stimulus checks will be sent out. So will there be other stimulus checks? Yeah. The third stimulus checks. Oh boy, a little complicated. Yes. So that's why I make it easy breezy for you. So at least subscribe so that you see all the details. Next, I want to give a special tribute out to my veterans. I want to thank you for your service to this country, my active service, my active duty members, and my veterans. Thank you for your service to this country so that we can live as a free country, not in fear of foreign invasion, not in fear of foreign attacks, that on our soil we can live as a free and prosperous country. I really want to thank you. I want to thank also your families that have supported you during your service to this country. I want you to also understand that I've been dedicated to you since day one. When this channel launched on day one, I did a video. The video, when I had less than a couple hundred subscribers, was about a stimulus check, the second stimulus check. Would it come to people who are on SSI, SSDI, and veterans? No one was making videos about you because no one was attending to your concerns and questions. That video went to 3 million views. Unheard of, a record in YouTube, because no video ever goes to 3 million views in a financial space, let alone when a channel has 100 viewers. It showed the importance. And since then, I've continued to remain focused on you. For example, under second stimulus, the Veterans Administration gave guidance during the second stimulus last year as to whether veterans had to do a non-filer filing. I covered it. Under third stimulus, I covered how veterans, some got their stimulus checks right away, while other veterans had different routing times announced by the VA. So I continue to remain committed to you as my viewer. And thank you again for your service. All right, now let's turn back to fourth stimulus. More exciting, great details, and I want to go over the voting process. The voting process for fourth stimulus is what I've identified as 9 steps of voting. I know it's Memorial Day weekend. People are taking time away and going to the beach and relaxing, sipping some nice coffee and relaxing, may not be tuning in. But I fully expect that by Tuesday or Wednesday, we're going to see an onslaught of people. And you may see some people say, they just need to call the vote. They're dragging their feet. They can vote this and send out the check tomorrow. They don't care. It only takes 1 day to vote on, and then they send out the check. They don't care. Well, I want you to bring positivity to the channel by showing the information you've learned from today's broadcast. It takes 9 steps of voting to pass a reconciliation bill. It can't be done in 1 day with 1 vote. And so I want you to share that information with them, and now I'm going to share that information with you. The first half of the 9 votes are the procedural steps. The next half are the substantive. Step 1 of the voting process is the House subcommittees need to vote on the procedural bill. Step 2 is the House floor needs to vote on the procedural bill. Step 3 is the Senate needs to vote on the procedural bill. And step 5 is the president has to sign the procedural bill. At this point, the tow truck has passed over the finish line. Time now to go get the tow hitch. Step 6 is the House subcommittees vote on the substantive bill. That's the House Ways and Means Committee. That's the 7 members that we were talking about earlier who can put the multiple stimulus checks in at the House level. Step 6 and Step 7, Step 6 is where the House floor calls the vote on the substantive bill. Step 7 and Step 8 are when the Senate has the vote-a-rama. During the vote-a-rama, the senators can put multiple stimulus checks in there if the House is not yet, or can modify it if this House has put those multiple stimulus checks in there. And Step 9 is when the president signs it into law. These are steps mandated by the Constitution. They are not steps created by the legislature, not steps that are created by Nancy or Chuck. They're constitutional required steps. And yes, we would all like things to be going quicker, but this is what the Constitution requires. It's 9 voting steps that clearly cannot be done in 1 or 2 days. But as we start those steps, guess what? We're going to heat up with the purple power because we don't roll over at all. So with that, thank you for joining me on a big morning's LALATE, and I have a big surprise for you as well. Our overnight throwback videos have been very popular, and last night we expanded from 2 to 3 of them, and the third one, which was in the middle of the night, was very well watched. So now we will be expanding 1 more throwback video in the middle of the night for those people who want something that is fun and entertaining to tune into, like holiday decor. So now watch as we expand to 4 overnight shows that are throwback in addition to our new slate of programming in the same time slots. And with that, subscribe. This is LA, 400,000 subscribers. Next stop, 1 million. I want you part of this family. Like this video and consider becoming a member. I'm next with you in just 3 minutes from now with Mornings Crypto. We'll be live on air going through all the details of what's happening with cryptocurrency this morning. Then at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is noontime LA. With the latest details, I'm live on air with you as well. So with that, stay informed, stay focused, have a beautiful morning. Thank you for joining me, and salute again to our troops. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay with LA for more.